When I was in media arts school, I took this class called Managing Your Career. One day, my instructor had us take this survey that would assess our communication styles. The goal of the survey was to figure out what kind of person you are when you work on a team, so that when you go out into the real world and take on collaborative projects, you can form a team of people that best complement each other's work styles. The survey was actually an abridged version of the Myers-Briggs type indicator, which, if you're not familiar, is a questionnaire that places you into one of 16 personality types based on how you perceive the world and make decisions. In this abridged version of the survey, there were only 9 questions, not the 600 or so that are in the MBTI. This survey determined not only which communication style you scored highest on, but it also figured out which percentage of other communication styles made up your personality. The 4 communication styles that were on this survey were sensor, feeler, thinker, and intuitor. Sensors are doers. They are action-oriented, they live in the here and now, and they jump at the chance to get stuff done. Feelers are focused on the group dynamic. They read between the lines and pay attention to emotions to ensure that interactions between team members are positive and productive. Thinkers value logic, ideas, and hard analysis. They identify problems and consider all possible solutions to those problems. Intuitors have the ability to look ahead, envision the greatest possibilities, and lead the team in carrying out ambitious goals. In reading the descriptions for these communication styles, I couldn't help noticing that they strongly paralleled the Hogwarts houses. Sensors were Gryffindors, feelers were Hufflepuffs, thinkers were Ravenclaws, and intuitors were Slytherins. Keeping this in mind, I took the survey, completely convinced that I would score highest as a thinker, because Ravenclaw is the house that Pottermore sorted me into, and that's the house that I identify as. Much to my surprise, these were my results. 28% intuitor, 27% thinker, 25% sensor, and 20% feeler. According to this survey, when working on a team, I'm most likely to be a Slytherin-Ravenclaw combo who's sometimes a Gryffindor and rarely a Hufflepuff. Honestly, the results weirded me out, because up until that point, I had seen Slytherins as dangerous, ambitious characters who loved to play the leader, and I just didn't see myself that way. It wasn't until I was finally out of school that I understood why I scored that way. I've come to embrace the fact that, yeah, I'm a Slytherclaw, and that's actually a valuable person to have on a project. When I started working on the road to nerdfighteria, I got to see these different communication styles in action. And I think that the reason that our team works so well together is because we have a good distribution of different types of people. When you have a large-scale project like this, you need at least one Slytherin to be the visionary, and at least a couple Ravenclaws to consider all avenues in reaching your goal. You need a few Hufflepuffs to ensure a good group dynamic, and you need a lot of Gryffindors to seize the moment and get stuff done. When we started the road to nerdfighteria, we were a very small operation, and so people often had to switch from one role to the other to get this project off the ground. As a Slytherin, I came in with a lot of ideas, but I also had to Gryffindor the F up and do the work to make these ideas a reality. There were times when I Ravenclawed my way through unique challenges, and when things got intense, I tried to be a good Hufflepuff and bring some levity to the discussions. The project has been really helpful in getting me to think about what I can bring to a team and how it's possible to change your style based on the needs of the team at the given moment. Most recently, our team has doubled in size from when it started, and it's been interesting trying to figure out what everybody's strengths are and how they can best serve the project. Anyway, it's the expansion of the Road to Nerdfighteria team that has me thinking about this stuff lately. But I'm also curious. What kind of person are you when you work on a team? Are you a sensor, feeler, thinker, or intuitor? If you're not sure what type you are, I've put a link in the doobly-doo to the survey that I took so you can check your results. And if you want to take the real Myers-Briggs questionnaire, I'll put a link to that below. Before I go, I'd love to share a few videos that I've made in the weeks leading up to and after NerdCon. The first video is an interview with Amanda of Fandom Matters, a YouTube channel that examines fandom culture. She recently interviewed me about my work on the road to nerdfighteria. The second video is my road to nerdfighteria story, which I don't think I've shared here yet. Chris has also submitted a video to the project, and I'd love to see a video from the rest of you at some point. No pressure. The third video is the Road to Nerdfighteria film that screened at NerdCon, which John and Hank liked enough that it gave them goosebumps and tears. And the last video is a film that I edited documenting the journey of the Road to Nerdfighteria team to Boston, which also seems to make people cry. Honestly, if I can move one person to tears, then I know I've done my job. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully I'll be back on here in a couple weeks. In the meantime, I'll be hanging out in comments if you want to talk about Hogwarts houses.